Season's greetings, geeks and nerds, and boys, universe, and white and nerdy, and it's time to jump right back into the Rankin Bass universe, which is technically sequel to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah, see, Rankin Bass has had this thing with Rudolph appearing in more than one thing, which technically makes Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer if you stop and think about it, but don't think about it too hard. Like, it's either a trilogy or a quadrilogy. Because you have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Mischief Toys, produced by Good Times. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, which I would assume is like the last movie. And then the topic that we're talking about here today, which is technically, I guess you could say, like the third film in this quadrilogy of Rudolph, which of course what we're talking about today, which is Rudolph's Shiny New Year. This will be my review, retrospective, whatever you want to call it, upon Rudolph's Shiny New Year. So if nobody has seen this awesome Christmas special yet, spoilers are ahead, just for people forewarned. So please go and watch Rudolph's Shiny New Year and then come back and watch the review. Otherwise, this Christmas special will be spoiled for you. So please go and watch this awesome special and come back. Otherwise, spoiled. Although if you don't count Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Mischief Toys as a sequel to the original, which trust me, a lot of people don't, then yes, it technically would be the sequel to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, since this picks up exactly where that film left off. For those of you that don't probably remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, at the end of the movie, Rudolph and Santa saved the Mischief Toys from the Island of Mischief Toys, and thus Rudolph saves Christmas. So then Rankin Bass decided to de-age the character, and making him like basically a young adult to like a teenager, young adult type of character, because it was always better to kids or some reason. But without further ado, let's jump into this. Is it Christmas or is it New Year's holiday special? Seriously, this is a lot like A Nightmare Before Christmas, where it's like, it could be both, but we would never know. So just admit it, it's just a holiday movie. As such, let's jump back into the Christmas classic favorites and jump into Rudolph's Shiny New Year and see if this little reindeer who saved Christmas just has it in him to save the New Year as well. We pick off right where we left off with Rudolph and Santa basically on their escapade from Christmas and returning back home after Rudolph has saved the Christmas night or morning or whatever. Meanwhile, we cut over to Santa, who just received some shocking news that the baby New Year had gone missing, which is unfortunate, and thus means that the New Year will never happen. But Santa, in all of his infinite wisdom, decides, I'm not gonna risk my life and save the baby New Year. Nope, I'll just have Rudolph go and save the baby New Year for me.
Your nose so bright, you've 6 days left to set things right.
I'll do my best.
Excuse me, Santa. Hello, Santa dear. Listen, Mr. Claus, Mr. C. Here's the thing. It's not Rudolph's fault. Not in the slightest. It's yours. Father Time asked you to go and search for the baby New Year. And if you stop and think about it, Santa is technically faster than Rudolph. Because remember, this is a guy that can travel the entire world in one single night. So, I mean, he could pretty much search for the baby in less than no time, and thus he'd be fine. But no, I get that Santa just had gotten lazy after delivering Christmas presents, and just kind of being an all-around, basically fat sack of shit. Because he just decides to be like, I would go and help Father Time, but Santa just has it in him that he doesn't not feeling it for the sort of what's that? Oh, the baby New Year went missing. Really? That is not my fucking problem. I'm Santa Claus, damn it. I'm not going to do this job. I'm just going to grab, Rudolph, my dear reindeer. You can go and get the baby New Year for me. Go on now, my dear fellow. Oh, by the way, you only have 6 days to do this. So don't fuck it up, otherwise it's my head on a silver platter. Yours is safe and sound, but my head will be on a silver platter. And I'm not sure how Mrs. Claus is going to feel about that. You heard of the straw on the night Santa went crazy? Well, this will be the night that Mrs. Claus went crazy if you happen to fuck this up. So go on, my little reindeer. Oh, oh, oh. I do it myself, but I'm Santa Claus and I'm feeling lazy this Christmas. So finally, after about 5 minutes of screen time, we are finally introduced to our narrator slash storyteller of the story, Father Time, voiced by the iconic comedian himself, Red Skellington.
Well, he just... No, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Running a little fast, as it were. Back, please.
But Rudolph, with the help of a few of Father Time's men, eventually tried to reach his castle, but he is soon stopped by the villain of the end of the movie, Eon the Terrible.
It was the horrible monster bird who had terrorized the sands of time for countless ages.
After the encounter, it's not long before Rudolph encounters Father Time, and Father Time tells him the unfortunate story of what happened with Happy, the baby New Year, and why he ran away. It turns out that Happy was unfortunately born with very large ears, and in this circumstance, everybody and everyone makes fun of his ears. After hearing the story, Rudolph encounters the island of the Lost Archipelagos, or the Island of Last Years, where he runs into the island of 1 million BC, where he runs into a caveman, a very funny and kind of annoying caveman, only by the name of 1 million, or as he always says, call him in short, OM. OM tells Rudolph that yes, unfortunately, he was there on the island of 1 million, but then unfortunately left after the dinosaurs made fun of his ears. The two eventually travel to the island of Fairy Tales where they meet Sir 10-3, and all three of them team up to try to find where Happy is by asking all of the New Years. They ask every fairy tale known to every man that happened, if they've seen a baby, and none of them have. Okay. Rudolph and friends are going around from person to person because they're missing a baby. And everybody playing this off like it's not serious. A baby is missing. A baby. A baby is not something that you joke about. A baby is not something that you ignore. It's a baby. So you need to go and find the baby. Because the baby is very important. Even if this is not a holiday icon, a baby is still a baby. It can't fend for itself. It's lost. It is probably alone. And it probably misses whoever takes care of it very, very much. And your decision about this is just like, oh, baby? What's a baby? What is this word that you're talking about? What is this thing? Because we've here at Fairy Tale Land, the land of bullshit and everything, where babies do exist in some fairy tales, we haven't seen this thing that you call a baby. So yeah, they ask around from fairy tale figure to fairy tale figure, and every single person just says the same thing, no. But while looking for the baby New Year, our heroes unfortunately lost the damn baby, and the baby has been picked up by the movie's villain, Eon the Terrible.
Not to worry. I'll be your friend. You'll like living with me.
Eventually, little Happy does escape his fate, and he happens to slide down a flag, or kite, where he meets Ben Franklin.
I'm 1776, but my friends call me Sam. Would you be my friend? I'm sorry. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
And if this doesn't make things any worse, what does is that Happy was with Ben Franklin until everybody laughed at his ears.
That does it! Oh, Canada!
As it turns out, yet again, Happy had been kidnapped 2 times successfully by the villain's movie Eon the Terrible. Just saying. Eon traps our heroes, but unfortunately for him, he forgot that Rudolph had a red nose, and thus Rudolph breaks out of his snowball trap quite easily. And so Rudolph decided to tell little Happy all about his little tale about how he was picked on for having a shiny red nose when he was little. No. Bad cartoon. You go to your room. I am not doing that. I am not pulling a double here. I am not, definitely not, doing 2 fucking reviews in a fucking row. Fuck off. We're not doing that. We are not pulling that type of bullcrap on me. If people want to see what happened to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they can either go and watch it. I think it's free here on YouTube, I'm not certain. Or you can go and watch a review of it somewhere. Not here. Definitely not here. No, I'm not doing that. We are not forcing that pain and torture upon me anymore. And no, I am not going to play any song footage because I'm afraid that the song is heavily copyrighted and I don't want this video getting copyright striked or copyrighted just in general. So, no, do not put this type of crime on me, Rudolph Shiny New Year. Don't you do it. I am not pulling a double shift or double duty for you just because that you mentioned Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and his backstory. So no, you go to timeout, young man. But then Rudolph decides to become a dick as well and laugh at Happy's ears. What a fucking heroic reindeer. But then he makes it up to Happy by saying, no, your ears actually make me happy. That's why I laughed. So Happy gets happy because his ears make people happy. But then to defeat the villain, Rudolph tells Happy to take his hat off and to keep it off for good, thus making the villain break out in tears of laughter at how big his ears are.
Well, it's the first time that monstrosity ever laughed in his life. He laughed so hard that he laughed himself.
But unfortunately, our group of heroes are late. They can't deliver Happy back to New Year's on time, or to Father Time's castle. That is until Santa comes in. Santa eventually got off his lazy ass, I suppose, and thus he decided to help out the team by flying them back to Father Time's castle just in time. And thus it's time for a New Year's celebration as everybody is rejoicing and Happy is named the new Father Time or the new New Year's baby or whatever have you, and the special thus ends. And so that was Rudolph Shiny New Year. Is it worth watching? Oh, definitely so. But what's funny is that while this is mostly shown during December for Christmas, just because it had Santa and Rudolph in it, it technically had nothing to do with Christmas and it's more so of New Year's. But I digress, as I remember watching it more times in December than I did actually ever watching it in January, except probably a handful of times. It's still a memorable special with high occasions, and I praise. Although still, while it is kinda goofy to look back at, especially people losing a baby several times in this, and the villain being more successful than the heroes, mind you, which is also as weird, I still have to admit that it still is a very good and well thought out, I guess you would say, sequel to the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so it definitely is worth checking out if you can ever find it, either on cable, on DVD, or either that or on streaming. So, I would recommend giving yourself into a shiny new year and celebrating with Rudolph and his shiny new year. It definitely is worth a treat. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. And always remember, I believe in you, I believe nerdy, keep you on. And please do check out Rudolph Shiny New Year in case you can never find it, because it is pretty damn awesome. I thought I asked him to stop doing that. Whatever. Now I can have chest pains as well as back pain. Thanks, Santa. That's always what I wanted for Christmas. More illnesses. Let's see what we got here. We have more movies. Thanks, Santa. He always knows what to give me. So I have a few of them here that I haven't seen. We have Avengers Age of Ultron. Heard about it, never seen it. Now I actually have a chance to actually sit my ass down and watch this. Avengers Infinity War, which my ex-girlfriend saw with her father. It's either this one or the other one, but now I can finally see it. And now she has every right to make fun of me in the comments or texting me that I haven't seen it, and that she has, and she can kind of spoil it for me. Oh, good. Wonderful. Thanks, Santa. Nice DVD art there, isn't it? And finally, we have Fantastic. Or Fantastic Four. Hey, listen, Fantastic Four New World Order, or whatever that it's called, is coming out, so may as well just check out everything the Fantastic Four, and I hated the other two Fantastic Four movies, but this one, kind of piqued my curiosity. Some people say that it's pretty good, some people say that it's complete and utter garbage, but I'm going to be willing to give it a try, so, yeah, Fantastic. Otherwise, redhead Kate Mara, the Invisible Woman, and Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. I guess we'll never know. But thanks, Santa. People can wait for me to review these at some point next year. I can't tell you when, but I already reviewed the first and original Avengers movie. I reviewed Civil War, which is technically an Avengers movie. So now, yeah, I can actually check out the sequel to the original Avengers. So thanks, Santa. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm nerdy. Keep you on. Be sure to do all the YouTube things, such as liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell icon so you will be notified every single time we can upload. And if you want to support this channel, the best way to do so is just by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing all the time. But until next time, I'm going to do much nerdy and keep you on and take care. Well, next time I think that we're going to treat ourselves to something of utmost special. At least in my family, this is known as something special, as it is one of my mother's personal favorite Christmas specials. So I think that to give her also a special treat this year, let's go back and take a look at one of her favorites. So come back next time as we'll be taking a look at The Tale of a Donkey with Very Large Ears. Huh. You're talking about a baby with big ears to talking about a donkey with big ears. My schedule is weird or unique, as it were. So come back next time as we'll be talking about Nestor, the Lonnie of the Christmas Donkey.